Hello everybody, this is Vincent and we're here at KRFC. I'm here with Clark Hodge. Welcome, Clark.
Thanks very much.
Clark and I started doing a partnership together, which we'll be discussing in a little bit. We're here at the KRFC studio, and pretty soon we're going to be over the Music District. A lot of great things happening over there, so we're kind of winding down our time here in this particular address here in Colorado. Clark, Chase the Music, website chasethemusic.org. Folks that haven't heard of this, tell us a little bit about your organization.
So Chase the Music was founded about 5 years ago. We became official 2 years ago with our IRS forming, and we have original music composed and then performed specifically for children battling critical conditions. So kids with autism, cancer, birth defects, severe mental crisis, just about anything from the kids' side. Musically, we have this original music, which can be anything musical. So I say we do things from A to Z, from Aboriginal to Zydeco, and everything in between. We've had professional performers, we've had child performers, and that's how Vincent and I started working together with some of the things with Ramp and some of the artists there, and now we've decided we're going to expand that partnership and do even more.
It's exciting, you know, for about 6 years I've been working with the youth and seeing the power of bringing music into the community and all the different life skills that they can get, and to bring music to those that need it the most and to have a connection. That's really incredible. I mean, you're having these artists write a song for a specific youth and then performing it for them.
Yeah.
I mean, that's got to be an incredible impact on them.
And when we did the first piece, the whole thing was about the child. It was for a little girl named Lauren, and she had cancer. And it was all about how could we do a really special gift for her that had real meaning. So an original song just for her. The day of the performance, we brought Lauren up on stage with these performers probably about 5 minutes before the first note of their performance was going to be played. And they all knew what the song was about. They knew why it had been written for Lauren. They knew the story, what she was going through, what her family was going through. And we brought her on stage, and half the musicians started crying. Yeah. I thought I'd made a huge mistake because I'm like, oh my God, how are they going to perform? And they performed beautifully because one of the artists said afterwards that music is all about emotion, and this is music at its best. That emotion came out in their performance, and it wasn't just the notes on the page anymore. It was playing for Lauren and her family. It made it really, really special.
You're kicking it into high gear coming up for 2017, and you have a goal of really, in a very organic, personable way, increasing the number of youth that are positively affected by your program.
Yeah, so 2 years ago, about a year and a half ago, I set a 5-year plan, and I called it Vision 20. So where did I see us in 5 years? I've also got a 500-year plan, because I think that's important to think where things are going in the long-term future. But in 5 years, so in the year 2020, I want to be running at a rate of 1,000 pieces a year across the globe. So how do we get there? Well, as you mentioned, 2017, we're really accelerating how many pieces we're doing. So this year was about 10 pieces. Next year, I'm hoping 50 to 100 will be done.
So chasethemusic.org is the website, and it's really great to have you in town. I know you have a fantastic place up in the Hills Alliance where you've had just an extraordinary outdoor event, and some of the local talent here, including Benji Smith and Emma Marie played up there. And Emma Marie working with, doing some things with Ramp, and through you, she was able to create an original song.
Yeah, so let me talk about that if I can. So I met Emma Marie at a ramp event at the Mishawaka and approached her and asked if she'd be interested in doing something for Chase the Music, and she said she'd love it. She just really fell in love with the idea. And she wrote a song called My Happy Song. And she did that by meeting with one of the care centers here in town. She went in, we spent a couple hours, she talked to every kid in that place about what made each kid happy. And then she wrote the song based on that experience of interviewing those kids. And it's things that made those kids happy, like opening doors. And you think, well, that's kind of an odd one, but for some kids, there's a fixation with how a door works and moving the door, and fans and superheroes and all kinds of things that were worked into her song. So it was really special. And she performed for those kids and just knocked it out.
Yeah, and I think she was really affected by the experience too. So I'm excited to have more ramp artists involved in this. Some that have been writing songs previously, and others, I think that there's, when you're starting out, maybe hesitancy to make any of your songs public because the confidence isn't quite there yet, or they're not that rooted in their songwriting. But if you're writing a song for somebody in this type of a life situation, I think that there's a natural wanting to go beyond any of your own insecurities or your own fears and want to relate to this person through musically.
Yeah, I just had a conversation with a young lady here in Fort Collins that's going to be composing a piece for us, and this will be the first piece she's ever composed that'll be performed publicly. And she said, I'm very, very nervous about this, but I'm so motivated to do it because it's so important. So these emotions come out. And it's not about perfection of the notes. These kids are just, they appreciate the love that comes out through the music.
Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, and that's what the scene, I think, in Colorado is all about too. Not having music that's overly processed, but just music that reaches people and connects with your audience. There's a give and take. This is great. This is our first time we've conversed on video about this. Do you have final thoughts?
A little bit more of the story of that first little girl, the very first piece we did. Her name was Lauren, and as I mentioned, she had cancer, and she'd been going through treatment. And at the end of her piece, she looked up at me and said, Clark, I'm never going to stop smiling. And with that, I've been permanently touched, and that's what kicked off Chase the Music. And so I encourage everyone to, through their own lives and however they want, and however they can, they should always chase the music.
Really good. Great spending time with you, Clark.
Thank you very much.
Chase the music.